Gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Before we begin the ceremony, I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're seated. We've got quite the show planned for you tonight, and we'd love to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce your Master of Ceremonies. Bandra boy at heart, bluesman on the radio, his fruitful career in entertainment spans nearly 3 decades, donning various avtars as show host, performer, voiceover specialist, radio jockey, jury member, event business honcho and consultant. He's constantly climbing up the popularity charts in the events and entertainment industry. Truly a 21st century Renaissance man, I'm extremely honored to introduce none other than the very suave Brian Tellis.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for that fantastic introduction. Since that was anonymously said, I suppose he took the liberty of exaggerating, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Good evening again. Welcome to the 23rd Annual EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. I am, as the voiceover said, your Master of Ceremonies, and I must add, very, very happily so. Tonight, as I'm sure you will agree with me, we are part of a momentous occasion. 23 years of celebrating the vision, the passion, and courage of entrepreneurial heroes like you in creating enduring legacies, exceptional enterprises, and of course, very importantly, in building a better India. Well, here we are, together at last. It's great, brilliant even, to see that no matter how challenging the times, no matter the obstacles, the spirit that each one of you is carrying is really quite unstoppable. As you can see, this year, we have made the decision to socially distance from Zoom. I mean, really, we're still broadcasting for all your family and friends behind their screens at home, though. Mind you, this is not a Zoom background, all right? This is the real thing. My son, I promise you, isn't going to walk behind me in his boxers, even though I told him I was having an important event that I was hosting. That's not going to happen tonight, unfortunately. I used to enjoy those moments, I must admit. But all that aside, I can't begin to tell you how privileged I am feeling at this moment to speak to all of you in person. No checking if I'm on mute. I obviously am not. No worrying about my camera being on or forgetting the passwords, which I was a specialist at. Just being here with all of you great minds is truly such an honor. I'm extremely glad to be a part of this, should I call it, Hall of Fame for entrepreneurial excellence with some of the brightest and unstoppable stars of Indian business. For those of you who aren't aware, I've been a privileged part of this event in the years gone by, but today is a very special day here as a host. It's like a homecoming for me. There's one thing that has stood out over the last 2 years. As a media person, anchor, and entrepreneur myself, I've had the opportunity to meet many, many brilliant entrepreneurs, have seen their journeys from up close. But never, honestly, never before have I seen so much resilience, so much perseverance, resolution, and of course, a lot of hard work and excellence, as you know. In the case of tonight's finalists, there's a lot of that. The finalists you will meet today do not live according to the status quo. They have special qualities that make anything possible. Curiosity, ingenuity, and of course, an unstoppable drive to bring their ideas to life and take their ideas to fruition. It is indeed commendable. As we move along, importantly, do not forget to shower your wishes, express your support, and empower others around you on social media. Importantly, please use the hashtag EOYIndia2021 and of course, hashtag Unstoppables. This event is also being live streamed, so a big hello to all of you behind those screens. Please share and spread the word amongst all your entrepreneur friends, proud family members, social circles about EOY by tagging EY India Facebook, and of course, let them watch the event. After all, I'm sure you will agree with me when I say empowered people empower other people. And for everyone out here, I promise you, this evening will be as grand, as impeccable as your performance has been over the last swatch of time. And once again, we will see a host of inspiring stories come alive right in front of all of you brilliant people. Well, let me now invite Mr. Rajiv Memani, Country Managing Partner of EY India, to give us his welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Memani.
Thank you, Brian. Let me begin by welcoming our honorable chief guest, Shri Bhupender Yadav ji. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for coming from Delhi just for this. And our guest of honor, Dr. Bhagwat Karat. Sir, thank you so much. Distinguished jury members, award finalists, and friends. Last year, we had to do this ceremony in a virtual format. The COVID third wave made this format of this year's event also uncertain, but we finally decided at very short notice to make it a phygital event. And I'm really grateful to all of you for joining us, as it is much more energizing to celebrate in person, although it is a smaller congregation than what we normally have. With your support, the EOY, the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Award, continues to be the most prestigious and coveted awards in the country for over 2 decades. It is the only global business awards that celebrates entrepreneurship in over 60 countries. Each year, the country winner participates in the prestigious World Entrepreneur of the Year Awards representing their country. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic and global uncertainty notwithstanding, the entrepreneurial energy in the country has remained unscathed. As always, it is a pleasure to celebrate the outstanding achievements of our entrepreneurs who are scripting incredible stories of grit, ambition, and value creation. Friends, please join me in congratulating our 2021 finalists. You will notice that the vintage of this year's finalists is quite different from what we had in the past. Many of the firms have just been born in the last 7 to 12 years, but have achieved phenomenal size, scale, which is reflective of the transformative impact that they have created. Our chief guest this evening, Shri Bhupender Yadav ji, the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment and Environment, Forest and Climate Change, is a bold, extremely hardworking, and I can say this with my personal interactions with him, and a very, very warm person, always open to listening to thoughts and advice. He has been India's voice on climate change and is also the man behind keenly awaited labor reforms, where he's engaged with industry in a remarkable way. Deeply regarded for his political acumen and organizational skills, he has been one of the key strategists behind his party's historical win in the general elections in 2019 and also several state elections, both before and after. I also welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Bhagwat Karad, Union Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance. Having served the state of Maharashtra for over 2 decades, Dr. Karad now holds a wide portfolio pertaining to the Department of Finance, DIPAM, and Department of Public Enterprises. Selecting 16 finalists from over 350 remarkable stories is not easy, and I am grateful to our jury, who add in the greatest measure to the stature of these awards. I thank our jury chair, Mr. K.V. Kamath, and all the other eminent jury members who have meticulously evaluated and selected these year's winners. And I greatly appreciate everyone who has joined us here today. Thank you very much. Friends, at EY, we have always believed that entrepreneurship is integral to nation building. We'll now watch a film on 23 years of celebrating India's most remarkable entrepreneurs. Once again, thank you for being part of a very special evening, and I wish all of you have a wonderful time ahead. Thank you very much.
Today, receiving the award will propel further entrepreneurial spirit in all of us.
Entrepreneur of the Year Award, Shri Mukesh Ambani.
This award to me is yet another affirmation of my firm belief that I have received much more from the society than I have been able to give to the society. The winner by unanimous vote was Ratan Tata. Responsible for the white revolution in the country, a great son of India.
Important parts of running business is to make a very deep and meaningful impact on the society.
I'm very grateful to Ernst & Young for this privilege, for this award, which I'm very happy to receive on behalf of my entire team.
This is a big award, and it's big for me because it's not Businessman of the Year, it's Entrepreneur of the Year.
Something like this clearly, strongly encourages entrepreneurship.
I've been fortunate to be there during this very exciting years. I thank you very much for this at the end of my career.
I accept this award on behalf of 1.2 billion Indians in all humility. Entrepreneurship is about building a sustainable institution, and it has to outlive individuals.
If you believe in it, you're going to find a way to succeed.
We enjoy being disruptive.
There are 500 reasons to say no, but you have to find that one reason to say yes.
I'd like to dedicate this to really to the mavericks out there, to the misfits really.
Wonderful film that. Thank you so much, Mr. Memani, for that address, and importantly, for setting the stage for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Memani mentioned, we have some very special guests with us here tonight. And to begin with, I would first like to invite onto stage the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Bhupender Yadavji, to please join us on stage and address us. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, eminent guests and participants, Namaskar and very good evening to one and all. Dear member of the August gathering, let me begin by thanking EY for inviting me and extending the opportunity to speak at this prestigious event. Formally launched in 1999 and currently in its 23rd year, I would also take this opportunity to congratulate EY India for organizing the prestigious event over the years. For more than 2 decades, this event has been a celebration of passion of those entrepreneurs who, over the year, have contributed significantly toward building the social and economic fabric of our nation. To my entrepreneur friends, as we enter the Amrit Kal of India's independence, let me first assure you that under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, India is marching toward an inclusive and sustainable economy that firmly believes in enabling and enhancing the efficiency and effectivity of our entrepreneur brothers and sisters. It is great to see that this year, EOI Award has 21 finalists with combined revenue of rupees 1.87 trillion, who collectively employ more than 260,000 people. And what I feel is a true testimony to the entrepreneurial talent in this country. 3 of India's business icon, N.R. Narayan Murthy, Uday Kotak, and Dr. Kiran Majumdar have been honored with the EY World Entrepreneur to the Year Award. During times of uncertainty, Indian entrepreneurs have continued to demonstrate strong resilience and excellent ability to adapt to the changes and challenges posed during COVID-19 induced pandemic. With their visionary ideas and relentless spirit, the challenge disruptive forces and bring innovative solutions during the toughest times. I can see that their constant drive for innovation has enabled them to sustain the progress they have made and strive the new growth opportunities ahead. On Independence Day last year, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji laid out vision for all of us who are deeply passionate about the Indian technology and innovation system. He termed the next 10 years of India's decade. As I understand it, decades talk about the direction of our economy, the direction of technology ecosystem, and the power of technology changing the way government function and transforming the life of its citizen. Startups are the backbone of New India and the engine that will power the nation's economic growth in the run-up of 100th year of independence, capitalizing on demographic dividend and government initiatives that enable the startup ecosystem. India's youth has taken the nation on top 3 in the world in terms of creating startups. The unicorn created during the COVID show that strength of our youth And I'm very happy to note that over 50 unicorns come into the existence during COVID, which are working day and night. The singular mantra of that, the nation first. Ladies and gentlemen, I take pride in sharing the fact that as of 25th March 2022, India is home of 94 unicorns with total valuation of $319.67 billion further on similar line. As on date, DPIIT has recognized that more than 61,000 startups representing 55 industries spread across 633 districts with at least one startup from every district and union territory of the country that has created over 6 lakh jobs since 2016. These number or set of data I have just mentioned is nothing but tangible evidence of our government's determination to strengthen the innovation, entrepreneurship, and startup ecosystem in the country. And now, very briefly, let me walk you through the initiative taken in the recent past, which has facilitated the entrepreneurial growth in the nation. To further enable the factor of transparency and ease of doing business in the startup ecosystem, the Environment Ministry has thought of upgrading the existing Parivesh portal. On upgradation of the Parivesh portal will be an effective compliance and monitoring mechanism, which is a technology-driven workflow that minimizes redundancy in the administrative paperwork. It will further provide effective data analysis for generating actionable information, a robust appraisal process, and a reliable and validated database that encourage accountability and ease of doing business. I would like to take this opportunity to mention that our government has announced rupees 6,000 crore, raising and accelerating MSME's performance program to expand the business of 5,55,000 MSMEs. On this note, let me draw your attention to the fact that the given program seeks to increase participation of the female entrepreneurs by approximately 70,500 women. The digital ecosystem created by our government for skilling with the focus on digital inclusion through 5G and investment in the technology such as artificial intelligence and infrastructure will continue strengthening the development of entrepreneurship across the countries. Ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you that our government is focused on freeing entrepreneurs and innovation from the bureaucratic silo, creating an institutional mechanism to promote innovation and capacity enhancement to our young innovators and young entrepreneurs. The government has also recognized the importance of hand-holding our private sector and providing the impetus of manufacturing and job creation. We are committed to acting as the catalytic agent to enhance job creation and ensure that our companies are world leaders in manufacturing. Therefore, despite all odds and associated challenges, I am confident that the EOY program, together with successful reforms introduced under the leadership of our Prime Minister to promote entrepreneurial growth, will collectively continue in legacy of recognizing India's outstanding entrepreneurs. I once again congratulate all the winners, 21 finalists, and all the participants as well. Thank you very much for being such a patient listener. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, for gracing this occasion with your special presence and addressing us. Before we move on, friends, we need to highlight a critical behind-the-scenes role in this evening's program. You know, quite rightly and normally everyone sees the glory moments, but very few of us actually see and recognize what goes on behind the scenes to reach or witness those glory moments. Truth be told, it's an extremely difficult thing to be able to judge at this awards process. The job of the jury, I think, has got to be the most unenviable and difficult thing to do. How? How do you ascertain the award winners from a list that's filled with entrepreneurs who are all winners in their own right? Let's take a look at what went behind the scenes.
I think that India has come of age in terms of its entrepreneurial cycle, learning very quickly to leverage technology in everything that is done.
So this is the generation which is driving the change, bringing a lot of innovation.
But you know, the basic nature of an entrepreneur is to both be a fighter and be an innovator, isn't it?
So that's why they're the unstoppables, which is going to make our economy very resilient.
And I think E&Y Entrepreneur of the Year award goes a long way in just recognizing that and motivating the entrepreneurs to look forward to this award.
The due diligence that is done by E&Y to get the set of people actually need to come up for consideration. That set right, that is always up to mark.
It is such a well-run process by EY that just recognition from that jury, that I think achieving a milestone with that is something which is credible.
It is one of the most prestigious awards as far as entrepreneurship in India is concerned.
It tells great stories. It makes people yearn for becoming great entrepreneurs.
This award is phenomenal. An entrepreneur has arrived when he or she receives the EY award. This is like the gold standard.
I remember the first time I got this award, and I think that was a very big recognition for me as someone who plays in this pharma sector.
These are not prizes, these are awards of recognition. Every person in that book is actually a winner.
The session in a way was very interesting. This is probably the first or second year when everything is at virtual mode. But almost all the discussions centered upon the newer businesses.
Every category, there was a very tough competition.
It was actually quite extensive in terms of the companies and entrepreneurs who were profiled and looked at.
What we were looking for, which companies and which entrepreneurs have demonstrated resilience.
And then what came out loud and clear is that we have so many startups coming up. The whole area of digital technology is playing a huge role in creating newer entrepreneurs.
We didn't all necessarily agree on everything, but there was a fair bit of camaraderie, willingness to listen.
The deliberations are free, open. The process ends up picking up very worthy winners.
This is just the beginning. The curtains are just rising in terms of a new India with the full ability to leverage all its strengths.
I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank this group for their monumental contribution that has brought all of us here today. Let's give them one more round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, they've earned it. I now invite our jury chair, Mr. K.V. Kamath, to share a few words with us.
Good evening. Honorable Minister, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, Honorable Minister, Mr. Bhagwat Karad. We have heard the process, so I will just stick to a few of the things that I observed during this year's process for selecting the finalists. I think to my mind, everything starts March 2020, that day when we said we are going to have a lockdown. And all of us thought that everything had crumbled. And I think the entrepreneurial spirit of India was seen in the next 2 quarters. When I tracked the numbers for the quarter ending October 2020 and then December 2020, something astounding could be seen, that Indian industry had not only come back to almost where they were before COVID hit us, but also we're up in terms of EBITDA levels by 25%. This has not been recognized, and I want to actually recognize it and celebrate all of you here who made that possible, to get back to a 25% pickup in EBITDA levels from what it was the previous year, through all the hardship of COVID and the closures and not having enough people, but yet getting there. And how did you get there? You got there by reinventing yourself, reinventing processes, and rewriting the book. I was taught that to get a 10% increase in productivity, it takes 5 to 10 years and costs an enormous lot of money. And here, Indian industry, the entrepreneurial spirit, did it in a matter of 2 quarters at virtually no cost. So I think we start with that sort of a track record when you look at what was achieved during the last 1 year. Because from there, industry just went on to achieve, I would say, higher and higher targets. Along with that came this whole new momentum that we are seeing in the Indian industry, that is the digital ecosystem. The digital ecosystem, which is now becoming mainstreamed, as it were. I think we are yet to see the full impact of that in our overall GDP. I would dare say that that ecosystem will account for probably 25% of our GDP in the next 3 to 5 years. We can imagine where our GDP would be. It is whatever we have in terms of growth, plus another 25%. To me, this year's people who came up for consideration, the companies who came up for consideration, are a good set of old economy companies and a whole lot of this new digital ecosystem companies. Young companies raring to go and proving themselves. So what we looked at as a jury was very simply, what is the value creation? Value creation in terms of process, value creation in terms of doing something different, and that value creation being scalable and making a change to India. And that was very visible in the selection of the finalists that we have today before us. Of course, in parallel, that also showcased Indian youth, because a lot of these companies were young entrepreneurs, clearly first-generation entrepreneurs, and who have scaled up in a very quick period of time. I'll leave them with a message as they come up to the stage in due course. The message is very simple. To me, watching Indian industry for over 50 years, you have created value. I repeat, you have created value in the fastest period of time that we have ever seen, the shortest period of time that we have ever seen. Valuation will follow. Don't rush into valuation. Concentrate on what you are doing. Concentrate on the value that you are driving in the businesses, and actually not only changing India, but you will change the world, and valuation will follow. All good wishes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. K.V. Kamath, for that wonderful message. A special thanks once again to our entire jury for putting forth their insightful thoughts, their analysis, and of course, their commitment. Well, it's been a great show so far, very, very insightful. What a great start to the EY Entrepreneur of the Year. Mind you, we're only just getting started, just getting warmed up. Having said that, you never know when you are minutes away from a breakthrough. You never know when you are one project away from achieving that standard of excellence. That is exactly why we keep going, we keep growing, we keep progressing to reach greater heights. You become unstoppable, truly. EY is dedicated to celebrating you, the unstoppables, the pace setters who've taught us the power of thinking big, of demonstrating that nothing, quite simply nothing, is insurmountable, and that together we can light the way to a more equitable, a more sustainable and prosperous world for all. Ladies and gentlemen, one round of applause for our unstoppables. And when I say unstoppables, I'm talking about our finalists. And let's watch their brilliant entrepreneurial journeys unfold. Let's take a look at the screen.
Born into a modest bhujia-making business family, Shiv Kishan Agarwal and Manohar Lal Agarwal have an interesting story of how their business got its name.
हल्दीराम भुजिया वाला मेरा ग्रैंडफादर का नाम है। मेरे दादाजी कुछ गोरे ज्यादा थे, तो उनके मामा लोग क्या है हल्दी करने लगे, करते करते हल्दी नाम हो गया। हल्दिया के नाम से वो भुजिया फेमस थी।
फिर इन्होंने बिजनेस कलकत्ता में भी शुरू किया।
मैं भी दादाजी से 14 साल की उम्र में भुजिया सीख लिया।
फिर वहां से निकल के हमारे बड़े ब्रदर ने 68 में नागपुर में हल्दीराम के नाम से शुरू किया। फिर हमने 83 में यहाँ दिल्ली में शुरू किया। हमारी फैक्ट्री थी, उसके नीचे एक सरदार की बेकरी हुआ करती थी। 1984 किसी मॉब ने उसमें आग लगा दी, हमारे ऊपर पे फ्लोरों में सारे जल गए। 2-3 महीने के बाद में दोबारा काम सेट करके वापस शुरू किया।
But the Agarwal brothers were determined to turn their misfortune into an opportunity.
शिफ्टों में काम करने लगे। नाइट में हम जैसे नमकीन बनाने लगे उसी जगह, दिन के टाइम में उसी में हम मिठाई वगैरह बनाने लगे। में मेरी इच्छा हुई यहाँ पे पैक्ड तरीके से इसको बेचना शुरू करना चाहिए, और 92 में मथुरा रोड पे एक फैक्ट्री डाली, जैसे 3 लेयर लेमिनेट का पैकिंग में स्टार्ट किया बेचना। हमने एक्सपोर्ट भी स्टार्ट किया। 1-2 साल बाद में हमने जो ये छोटी पैकिंग आने लगी है, वो भी उन दिनों में 2 या 3 रुपए से स्टार्ट किया था हमने। जैसे ये देखा था कि भाई ये पान पराग ये छोटी पैकिंग में बिकता है हर दुकान पे, ऐसे ही ये नमकीन भी हर ठेले वाला बेचे। वहाँ से मार्केट एकदम इंक्रीज होना शुरू हुआ।
ऐसे हमारे सुझाव आते थे, क्वालिटी बनाते थे।
They have built the businesses from ground zero, so focused for the brand 24/7.
Today, with more than 300 products, exporting to more than 80 countries, and a turnover of 10,000 crore rupees, Shiv Kishan Agarwal and Manohar Lal Agarwal want to make the Haldiram brand even bigger.
कनेक्टेड बिजनेस और भी थोड़ा सा एक्सपांशन में है हमारे।
वर्ल्ड में पूरा इंडिया में और भी फेमस हो जाए, कंपनी को IPO में लेके मेरे को अच्छा लगेगा।
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shiv Kishan Agarwal and Mr. Manohar Lal Agarwal. Born in a small village in Punjab, V.K. Arora started working in his family's rice trading business when he lost his father in a terrorist attack.
My father, 6-7 years, I worked with him. We lost him in Punjab terrorism. Everything was totally in dark. Many challenges I faced through this. Living in a small village, how to develop, what to talk. Nobody was around us. Reaching to the people ourselves. So I was doing purchasing, production, everything on our own. Accordingly, I was taking a tough decision continuously, and those helped us quite a lot to grow.
Then V.K. Arora made a decision to launch a consumer basmati brand, Dawat.
The only way I could go to reach directly to my consumer is through the brand. Then the idea of branding came. Dawat शब्द मन में आया कि food से linked है, and plus it was linked with the name which can be go well along with the Middle Eastern world. थोड़ा success मिल रहा था, but our product was mostly going into export. So that is how it came up. If I wanted to grow, the only way to grow is export. And then took up the challenge of going into international market. It was quite difficult for me, especially not born in the big cities, how to get a visa. Slowly I got a lot of good people around me taking up the things further. Went to a first step to 100 crore, 200 crore, 400 crores, and then the public. Now the business is growing double digits since last many years.
He started as a basic rice milling company, and now we are a consumer food company. He makes sure, the things are achieved, whatever he has set for.
Today, with 22 facilities across the world and a revenue of 5,400 crore rupees, V.K. Arora has a clear vision for the future.
We have a target to make our company $1 billion. We feel that opportunities are great if you really wanted to continuously work upon it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V.K. Arora. Vidit Atre and Sanjeev Barnwal were good friends from IIT and decided to start up on their own.
Both of us knew we want to work on a problem that can excite us and inspire us, something that can become really large.
And one of the things we realized was the unorganized commerce market is huge. And that is where we thought of starting with hyper-local fashion marketplace, which is Fashion Nearby.
Then we said, okay, fine, let's go deeper. And then we went to a couple of shops. I still remember the first shop where we got a big idea. And we said, why are you not selling online? We asked them, where are you selling? Which marketplace? They said, no marketplace. I sell on WhatsApp.
We thought, okay, doesn't seem like a very efficient way of doing business. Then we thought, okay, we'll solve this person's problem. And there are a lot of such shops out there.
And that's when we created the first version of Meesho. We wanted to give a shop of their own to each and every small business.
And then something interesting happened.
What ended up happening was more than these offline shops, resellers started using it.
All of them were women and mostly homemakers. They said, we are running our WhatsApp boutique. And for running our WhatsApp boutique, we are using the Meesho app. We found it fascinating. So we said, we'll just focus on these women and enable them to realize their dreams of starting their business.
We built it very quickly, launched it. And from then onwards, it just took off. We saw our numbers doubling every month. So right now we have about 5% of the Indian households transacting with us almost every day.
That's how big the problem was. This business that some of these women started was just not a business. It was a way for them to achieve all the dreams they had that they could not fulfill so far.
I have seen them, being really close to the customer, listening to what's the pulse. That is something that they have done seamlessly. I think it's a powerful tool that both of them bring into Meesho, and it's just great.
Today, with more than 100 million users, Vidit Atre and Sanjeev Barnwal have ambitious plans for the future.
Our mission has always been to democratize internet commerce for everyone.
To essentially become that single shopping destination where 1 billion people will come and fulfill their needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vidit Atre and Mr. Sanjeev Barnwal. The son of a professor father, Sahil Barua worked for 3 years at a job before deciding to start something on his own.
I grew up in an academic environment on the campus of the Indian Institute of Management, and in a curious quirk of fate ended up becoming a management consultant. So I joined a company which at that time was just starting up called Bain & Company. So about 3 years into Bain, the three of us who were colleagues decided that we want to leave, starting something together. So we started out as a local food delivery service. We were in conversation with our friends at Zomato, and our view was that since they anyway had restaurants which were listed on their platform, could we build the add-on service which would allow restaurants to go and deliver that food? I still remember our first customer was a cafe called Flip Bistro, and we discovered that we don't have any bikes, we don't know any delivery boys. We drove up to Flip Bistro in our cars, and so we started delivering food ourselves to customers. Then, of course, we went and hired entire staff, and we would deliver food to people within 20 minutes of them placing the order.
And then, something rather interesting happened.
I think we must have delivered to a couple of people who were setting up e-commerce companies, because then they called us and said, can you also deliver our packages in 30 minutes? There's no dearth of courier companies in India, and so we didn't quite understand why we were needed. So I went one day to the Blue Dart Center and said, I want you to ship this book to Suraj, who lives across the road. And they said, well, it'll take us 2 days and 300 rupees to ship this. We said, look, this is a hardcore operations research problem. We should be able to design a better network.
The way in which we have thought of is to leverage data science, use algorithms to be able to ensure that it takes the optimum path.
Today, with a revenue of more than 3,800 crore rupees, Delivery has fulfilled over 1 billion shipments since inception and currently services over 22,000 businesses. And the journey has only just begun.
We will establish the highest quality infrastructure, irrespective of whether we're doing warehousing or transportation. So we want to become exceptionally reliable as a service.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sahil Barua. Born into a village near Vijayawada, Dr. Satyanarayana Chava did a PhD in chemistry, then worked in jobs at Ranbaxy and Matrix before starting his entrepreneurial journey.
I left Matrix and then wanted to start something in the pharmaceutical industry where we had to start R&D first and then do manufacturing of those products what were developed in R&D. Many people were thinking we were crazy people. It was a very hard time to convince bankers to fund a greenfield project where the business is losing 80 crores of money.
Then came two major turning points.
One of a vendor threatened us to increase price because he's the only one making. I said, I'm not going to buy this from you. In next 3 months, I'm going to make this in-house. We don't have any technology, but I took that challenge. Eventually, we started manufacturing in excess what we needed. From one facility, we are more than 10 manufacturing facilities. And why we went into antiretrovirals is also by chance. One of the senior member from Dr. Reddy's wanted to meet me and talk about antiretrovirals development together. And when we developed those products, we went to Dr. Reddy's and they said, no, we are not interested in working on antiretrovirals. So you develop and you go ahead. So eventually we developed all the products in antiretrovirals and became a global leader in antiretrovirals. So every day, about 8 million patients in the emerging world, they take Laurus product in the form of API or in the form of formulation. So people also believe now, if Laurus says something, they will do it.
He is a technocrat who has immense self-belief. His record with US FDA, it actually manifests him being a stickler for quality.
Today, with more than 10 facilities and a revenue of 4,800 crore rupees, Dr. Satyanarayana Chava has a simple vision for the future.
We have to produce one quality for all markets. That is the legacy I would like to leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Satyanarayana Chava. Armed with an engineering degree and an MBA, Manish Gupta worked in ANZ Grindlays Bank as well as Infosys before deciding to start up on his own.
We wanted to create something which stands out on the global stage as a differentiated story. We decided intersection of healthcare and technology could be a potential to create big impact over there. That was the genesis of Indigi. Then the whole .com burst happened. Followed by that, 9/11 happened. That made things even worse. But we said, what we'll do is we build what is called a pharma services company in India based on deep medical expertise. So we had to very quickly acquire customers, deliver projects for them. It wasn't easy, but we continued to scale the business very rapidly.
Then came a major inflection point.
We decided to do a capital restructuring. I found a family office, a person called N.S. Ragan. So his family office pumped in some fresh capital into the company, and we started focusing a lot outside India. To accelerate our presence into the market, we decided to enter it US through an acquisition. So we built capabilities with a lot of business coming from outside India. That's the time when we stepped back and said, okay, where do we play from here? And decided to bet on the pharma life science sales and marketing area. We coined this term called VSO, Virtual Sales Organization. We will build a sales process using technology. So we build IP, we build capabilities. By the time COVID hit, we were already by far the largest standalone digital transformation partner to the life science industry. So we were clearly, I would say, at least 15 years ahead of our time.
He has that incredible drive to create a company which will outlast all of us and will truly create long-term impact.
Today, with more than 4,500 people in offices around the world and a revenue of 1,600 crore rupees, Manish Gupta has even bigger plans for Indigene's future.
We believe that in the next few years, we can build an organization which is 10 times of its size in an industry that matters today more than it mattered in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Manish Gupta. Abhay Hanjura might never have been pushed to pitch his big startup idea to Vivek Gupta if it wasn't for a terrible accident.
So at 17, I had a very messy motorbike accident and I actually lost my right leg. I had to do a good job of the life that was left with me, right? And therefore, I overcompensated, for that by possibly pushing myself through limits. And I think with Vivek, the conversations that we used to have, ki bhai kuch karna hai, that's really from where the idea of Licious started germinating in my mind. That meat getting its due in the sun was long due. Hey, what Amul did to milk and dairy in this nation is the opportunity that we see in front of us.
I just kind of dismissed all his arguments, but he came to me again and again. And I was pushed to look at this industry. I actually ended up telling Abhay that जिस दिन इस मरे हुए मुर्गे में हम जान डाल पाएंगे ना, उस दिन बनेगा एक story. That's how Licious was born.
Abhay Hanjura and Vivek Gupta then set about building Licious.
So we defined close to 100 plus parameters of high quality chicken produce and went to meat farmers.
The world was laughing at us. One guy with hair and another bald guy are trying to sell gold-plated meat. We said that we are willing to take the entire risk on behalf of the consumer. We are willing to pay you far higher than the market. Believe in us. And then, they had nothing to lose.
On the other side, for consumer, we have elevated the experience so much that consumer was ready to pay that premium. And that is when me and Abhay said that this business will be business of repeat.
So, Licious has done the hard work in defining what good looks like.
A lot of innovation has gone into it, and they've done it consistently, day after day. So I think the last many years.
Today, with a presence in 23 cities, delivering 2 million orders a month, Abhay Hanjura and Vivek Gupta are ready to take on an even bigger future.
I'll be very happy the day we stop using word meat and start using Licious.
The dream with Licious really is to build Licious out as an immortal brand, as an immortal company. That's when we would say that we have done a good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Abhay Hanjura and Mr. Vivek Gupta. Born in Jaipur, Amit Jain studied at IIT and worked at a US company before coming back to India to work on some startups with his brother.
He said, let's build a technology company, and that's when the whole Girnar Soft became. But in 2008, coincidentally, we both also went to Auto Expo setting. And we saw a lot of cars, and we started searching online. We found that these were not available. The search that night led us to code a site in 7 days sharp and take it live. Like us, we realized there were many other people also looking for such information, and they started hitting our website. We wrote down, let's build $1 billion company, and every startup related to some need of ours. We shut down many, opened many, and that build something large urge was leading us to find out which will be the large one. We never gave up.
Then, a chance meeting would show Amit Jain the true potential of what he had.
We were primarily advertisement revenue and classified revenue. I luckily got a chance to meet Chip Perry in Atlanta. They were evaluating our asset. That's when I saw $8 billion online auto organization in action. And that opened quite a lot of vision on what it could become. And we started focusing only on auto. These are very early years of how car evolved. And that's how it all began. We used to ensure there is one release going out every night. And the queries started to increase. It starts with new cars, goes to used car, discovery. And from discovery, it pivots into transactions. And that's how the journey has been. Very deep into financing now, very deep into insurance. We do around 2 million plus policies a year now. It does not stop at selling a car. It actually begins there in my view. The idea always has been, how do you make the life easy for your consumer?
Amit has been kind of instrumental in guiding each of these business units to their scale. If you can think X, he will think 10X, like a crazy maverick who is out there to conquer the world.
Today, with a presence in more than 100 cities in India and 3 countries in Southeast Asia, Amit Jain and Car Dekho are on the road to a great future.
So we are looking forward to redefine how mobility works in the country. And there's no stopping us as we go about to become a $10 billion company from how billion we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Amit Jain. After working at various jobs for over a decade, Girish Mathrubootham was coming back to Chennai from the US when a small incident changed the course of his life.
So when I was moving back to Chennai, when my TV arrived, the TV was broken. 5.5 months, shipping company still wouldn't process my insurance claim. So I went and shared my story in an online forum. The community started engaging, and the next day, money was in my bank. Now, this was where we got the idea for Freshdesk. We could clearly see that the power dynamics in the world of customer service is shifting from the company to the consumer. So when I decided that, hey, this seems to be a good opportunity to truly bring a new help desk to the market, which allows businesses to listen to their customers, not just through phone and email, but also through social media channels. We had the first 100 customers in 100 days. We were international from day one.
Soon, Girish Mathrubootham put the fledgling company on a rapid growth path.
We got our first $1 million funding from Axel. And after that also, we got a $5 million funding round. Suddenly, it looked like there were no more constraints. So we wanted to replicate our early success in Freshdesk. So our decision to go beyond Freshdesk to build multiple products was actually a key decision that we got right. So that enabled us to really grow fast. And today we are Freshworks. So when we realized that our product was working well for larger companies, we decided, hey, we can go after acquiring more such companies. And today we are publicly listed on NASDAQ, which I'm super proud of.
He has built an amazing franchise. So this intensity and being competitive in building the best for his customers has translated into building a scale and successful company for him.
Today, Freshworks is a global company with over 4,600 employees who serve more than 56,000 customers in 120 countries. But Girish Mathrubootham is just getting started.
So we are sitting on a fantastic opportunity to enable every business to delight their customers and their employees.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Girish Mathrubootham. Sriram Natarajan and Dr. Chandrasekhar Nair had already started parallel businesses in medical diagnostics when they happened to meet at a conference.
I went to this conference in Delhi and met Chandrasekhar Nair. They had a very early prototype of something that could be a point of care molecular tool. And they said, wow, this is exactly what I'm trying to do already. So why don't I talk to him and work together on this? And so then we decided and then formed Malbio.
We were very clear that PCR is what we should take. So started working on TB that could pick up TB early in the infection, and then ultimately showed that we were able to do TB detection at point of care.
Went to ICMR and were very excited. So what we have today is a combination of small portable battery operated machine. So it's a special chip in which we're able to do the PCR right on the chip, and the fact that it was working in the grassroots levels for which it was designed for. It was a big satisfaction for us.
And then, in 2020, the pandemic struck.
As soon as India was hit with COVID and they wanted to immediately start taking action, we already had the test ready for them. So we again went to ICMR and they said, we want your test immediately, start supplying.
So we ended up setting a couple of world-class facilities in the middle of the pandemic, thereby increasing India's ability to diagnose COVID at point of care very dramatically.
A lot of lives were saved, and the platform that we have, which is called TrueNat, and globally we are the only people who have a truly point of care solution.
So creating a platform like this is not an easy task. I don't think in terms of self-belief there was ever a doubt that we will achieve what we will do.
And because you had a combination of someone from R&D background and someone from commercial background, we have seen for the first time that the product patented globally have seen the light at the end of the tunnel from India.
Today, with a total capacity of 300,000 test kits a day and a presence in more than 45 countries, Sriram Natarajan and Dr. Chandrasekhar Nair are ready for the future.
We are going to go aggressively after some of the most aggressive diseases that are affecting humanity.
Because the future is in going to the patient, where diagnostics can go to the people right at the point of need.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sriram Natarajan and Dr. Chandrasekhar Nair. Harshil Mathur and Shashank Kumar knew each other since their college days and had a common interest in software.
I used to spend most of my evenings creating software applications. And that's actually when I met Shashank. And as he was graduating, he got placed in Microsoft in US.
But I didn't really enjoy it. I wanted to do something else. I ended up partnering with Harshil. We picked up a side project where we wanted to build something to encourage sort of a donation culture in India.
talked to a lot of payment companies and banks to figure out how to accept payments in India. And we found the process very, very cumbersome.
Eventually, we realized a lot of startups were coming up in the country, and we felt there is a significant amount of opportunity to solve for payments problems.
And that's when we felt, okay, Razorpay is something that we want to pursue and start building together.
Of course, starting up wasn't exactly easy.
We started going and talking to banks to understand if we can get a payment gateway license.
I think I went to Axis, I went to SBI, and so many other banks figure out how do you go about starting a payment gateway.
They were like, what is a payment gateway and who are you? But we kept at it.
Finally, there was this one meeting that I had with a senior banker from HDFC Bank who understood how this could be an opportunity. So he gave us an in-principle approval. I went and left my job. Shashank left his job, and we both started building Razorpay together.
Eventually, we went for applying to Y Combinator. To our complete surprise, we actually got accepted into Y Combinator, and that was the first money that we got in the bank from an investor.
We said, okay, now we need to build. And we kept getting a lot of customers constantly.
Today, we are processing more than $70 billion of payments annually, and that number is only growing over time.
We just kept picking ourselves up and kept focusing on the customer problem. And I think that's the reason we are here today.
So that drive, that zeal is something which is outstanding about both of them. They kind of got it spot on right at the first moment.
Today, with over 2,000 employees and 8 million plus businesses on their platform, Harshil Mathur and Shashank Kumar have a clear vision for Razorpay.
We believe that our vision of digitizing that entire aspect of financial system is going to really change the way small businesses operate in this country.
We want Razorpay to help the country, help the ecosystem get there as fast as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harshil Mathur and Mr. Shashank Kumar. Inspired by her father, Falguni Nair had a stellar career at Kotak Bank before deciding to start out on her own.
My dad treated me as an equal. He used to invest in stock market, and I remember sitting with him and identifying stocks that we should buy or sell. So I think a lot of small things that he did went a long way in forming who I am today. I actually met a lot of entrepreneurs in my journey at Kotak, and I just felt that entrepreneurs have this early vision, they make it happen. And I wanted to do that before I turned 50. So I got interested in creating something that did not exist. I believe that multi-brand retail for beauty in India was a space that was not created. So I started an e-commerce company.
Her experience as an investment banker stood her in good stead, and Nykaa was soon firmly on a growth trajectory.
A couple of things I was very clear about, that we should work out of a startup type of office, keep our cost structure under control and build right. So I started Nykaa from my home. I personally was onboarding brands. So I went and met Hindustan Lever, L'Oreal. They were never on e-commerce platform before that. I could onboard them very easily. So by the time we launched, we already had 80 brands on our platform, and we grew our business through our own learnings.
She has such a maniacal focus on every single aspect of this business. She's really building a business for the long term.
Today, with an annual turnover of more than 2,800 crore rupees, over 4,000 brands on the online platform, and more than 100 retail stores, Nykaa is transforming the beauty and lifestyle business even further.
There's a lot of focus on bringing international brands into the country and continue to nurture and grow new areas of business like fashion and Nykaa Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Falguni Nair. After getting degrees in computer engineering and business, Nitin Rakesh worked with companies such as UTI, Motilal Oswal Asset and Sintel before fate brought him to Mphasis.
In 2016, I really ended up getting an opportunity to partner with Blackstone to resurrect this company called Mphasis that had been an HP company for almost 10 years. We had to rebirth the company as an independent business outside of this big IT brand. The business hadn't really grown for about 5 years. I remember I wrote a paper that went to the entire company where I said our top 4 priorities are growth, 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 and growth. The 4 G's of growth was the first pivot that I tried to give to the company.
Soon, Nitin Rakesh put emphasis on a growth trajectory.
every business is a consumer business, but everybody doesn't know it yet, right? So I think that was a big bet, that consumption will move from fixed to variable, CapEx to OpEx, on-prem to on-demand. We have to create a set of services that will enable for this migration. Enterprises will have to invest. So, can we help them find the money from their operations? And then we went about building a portfolio of services. But at its heart, we coined this phrase, can we bring the T back in IT? So we broke this T down into granular technology domains. 8 technology tribes were created. Those 8 technology tribes became the foundation of competency build-up. And of course, we invested dramatically in it. 2020 and the whole COVID crisis. It accelerated everything that we were predicting. The last 18, 24 months for us have been truly transformational in terms of growth.
To take emphasis from being a mid-sized IT services company into being a truly transformative, customer-oriented growth company. And that's really, I think, what Nitin has done in the last 5 years.
Today, with over 35,000 people globally, a revenue of more than 11,000 crore rupees, and a presence in 20 countries, Nitin Rakesh has set emphasis up for a bright future.
We've gone from about 1.5 billion in market cap to about 8.5 billion in the last 5-year journey. I think pace of change will only accelerate. Deliver speed at scale is the current focus right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nitin Rakesh. Starting his career as a professional in financial restructuring, Abhay Soi eventually began his own fund and entered the healthcare space in 2010.
So my entry in healthcare started through the acquisition of a company called IHH, which I thereafter renamed to Radiant. Thereafter, we acquired a company and had a concession on Nanavati Hospital in Mumbai, which we again restructured and turned around. We started looking at how we could differentiate ourselves. And in FY 2019 is when we acquired Max Healthcare, a David and Goliath story really. It was the worst performer in class. The initial owners only wanted to sell it at about 26 times or 27 times EV to EBITDA, while the market traded about 17 times. In spite of these two challenges, we were able to make the acquisition using private equity. We had to leverage the company 8 times debt to EBITDA, which is a significant amount of debt, I think, in any respect.
In spite of all the challenges, Abhay Soi soon turned Max Healthcare around.
What we did after acquisition really was implementation of the plans that we had. We had put down about 221 line items through which we could almost double our capacity. And we thought, we would do it in about 2 years. And, we were able to do it in about 10 or 11 months. And most importantly, we've been at the forefront of COVID. We were the first people, volunteer. Both our flagships, we have served more than 39,000 patients. And now we outperform the industry. From being bottom of the class 3 years ago, we have grown to the top of the class. The combined EBITDA of my 2 hospitals, as well as all of Max hospitals in the financial year 2019 was about 340 crores. We do more than that in a quarter now.
Because he's so driven, he never lost sight. So his sheer commitment and dedication has led him this far.
Today, with a network of 17 healthcare facilities and a revenue of over 5,400 crore rupees, Abhay Soi has even more ambitious plans for the future.
For me, we are representative of the best of Indian clinical talent. And I think it is for us to be able to connect the dots to be able to provide it both domestically and internationally.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Abhay Soi. Born into an entrepreneurial family, Sunil Vachani was still in his early 20s when he approached his father for a little capital to start his own business.
So I told my late father that this is the idea that I have. I want to look at the electronic manufacturing space. It was an alien concept. To his credit, he trusted me. I remember getting my first break with a company called Gold Star, which now is known as LG Electronics. They broke up with their erstwhile partner. So they decided to tie up with us for catering to the domestic market. This was just a small order of about 3,000 sets.
Then came the big break, which really spurred Dixon's growth.
The Tamil Nadu government decided to distribute 14-inch CRT televisions to the entire population. We emerged as the L1 in this first tender that came out. We were doing large numbers of almost 8 to 10x, and we were very lucky to get Motilal Oswal as the first private equity partner into the company. Motilal Oswal came in and really nudged us to look at the bigger picture. We started looking at product diversification, and today the company is one of the largest player across products in LED TVs, home appliances, mobile phones, security systems and cameras, medical electronics.
One of his biggest traits is extreme focus on the customer. And second is absolute detailing. Two extremely important reasons for such huge success in his career.
Today, with a turnover of 10,600 crore rupees, Sunil Vachani has ambitious plans for Dixon's future.
India is going to emerge as the hub for manufacturing, and Dixon wants to be at the forefront in the global markets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sunil Vachani. Hailing from the tiny village of Imliadi, Vivek Vikram Singh had to overcome multiple challenges through his early life.
My dad got selected in the UP police service. I think I grew up wanting to be just like him, and after 12th I did my engineering. I had a fairly major road accident. Lost about 40% use of my right arm. My aim of being a police officer was laid to rest, so I had to figure out a new career at that age.
After working at various jobs in consulting, Vivek Vikram Singh was brought by serendipity to Sona Comstar.
When I joined, together all the companies had a net loss, I think about 100 crore. 3 months in, the founder, Dr. Kapoor, passed away. That 2-year phase was very hard. The US company was losing about 6 crore per month. We failed in saving that entities. We helped our customers migrate their business to the India business. We wanted to put up capacity in India to shift the business from US, but it was very hard. We met HDFC. They supported us at that time when our net worth was negative. We did a very good acquisition in Comstar, where a lot of people saw start a motor company. We saw a motor company. We made only differential gears when I started out. My biggest single contribution would be that I challenged the thinking and said, why don't we make the whole system, the whole differential assembly, for only one type of vehicle category, which is electric vehicles. And that was one of the biggest reasons we grew as fast as we could, 3 times.
It's been incredible to hold up our numbers, supply to our customers on time, in full. I've been extremely proud of where Vivek has taken the business.
Today, with 10 manufacturing facilities around the world and a turnover of over 2,000 crore rupees, Vivek Vikram Singh is steering Sona Comstar into the future.
We want to be a very integral part of how the technology that supports mobility changes in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vivek Vikram Singh.
Incredible stories, incredible stories. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a significant moment in tonight's program. Let me begin by thanking everyone for their support as we welcome the outstanding EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2021 finalists up on stage. But before that, to do the honors, I would like to invite to stage our chief guest, the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment, Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Bhupender Yadav ji. May we have you on stage, as also the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, and of course our guest of honor today, Dr. Bhagwat Karad, former Chairman ICICI Bank, and our jury chair, importantly, Mr. K.V. Kamath, and the Chairman and Managing Partner for EY India, Mr. Rajiv Memani. May we have you on stage, gentlemen. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our dignitaries on stage. And you must keep that applause going as I invite onto stage our finalists. I must also tell you that a few of our finalists couldn't make it this evening, but on their behalf, we have other guests who will be representing them. Alrighty then. allow me to invite our finalists onto stage. Shiv Kishan Agarwal and Manohar Lal Agarwal, Haldiram Group. As also Vijay Kumar Arora, LT Foods. Can you make your way up onto stage, please? Thank you. While they make their way up onto stage, allow me to also invite Sanjeev Banwal and Vidit Atre of Meesho. As also Sahil Barua, Delivery, represented this evening by Suraj Saharan, the co-founder. May I invite Dr. Satya Narayana Chava, Laurus Labs, as also Manish Gupta of Indegene. While they make their way up onto stage, Vivek Gupta and Abhay Hanjura, Licious, and Amit Jain, Kadeko. Sriram Natarajan and Dr. Chandrasekhar Nair of Molbio Diagnostics, and Girish Matrubhutam, Freshworks, represented this evening by Prasad Ramakrishnan, CIO. May we also have Shashank Kumar and Harshil Mathur of Razorpay. Mr. Shashank Kumar unfortunately could not attend the event today. Joining us on stage is Mr. Harshil Mathur. May we also importantly have on stage Falguni Nair, Nika. May we also have Nitin Rakesh Emphasis, who is represented today by the Senior Vice President and Head Communication, Deepa Nagraj. And Abhay Soy of Max Healthcare. Sunil Vachani, Dixon Technologies, and Vivek Vikram Singh, Sona Comstar. I must also add, this is the closest I've come to becoming famous. So I'm going to quietly move away while the photographers capture this moment. Can we move in a little closer to each other? I'm not suggesting any collaboration, but if we can move a little closer so we get the frame in its entirety. Okay, I'm going to request all our finalists to go back to your seats. And I'm going to request our dignitaries to please stay on stage. Like I said, it's the closest I've come to being famous. What's that they say? So close and yet so far. We have our dignitaries on stage, and thank you very much. I would also like to call up on stage now, very importantly, the chairman, Marico, Mr. Harsh Mariwala. May we have you on stage, Mr. Mariwala? Thank you, Mr. Mariwala. And here we go with our first category, the biggie, I must add, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Okay, you may take center stage again, gentlemen. It has rightly been said, if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you rise as an excellent leader. The award recognizes entrepreneurial excellence and the significant impact on both the industry and the nation through decades of business leadership. It honors the leadership of one individual in both business and community that inspires future generations of entrepreneurs. I'm going to request Mr. Harsh Mariwala to please read out the citation.
Good evening to all of you. The jury is honored to present the EOY Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. A.M. Nayak. Mr. Nayak joined L&T in 1965 as a young engineer and turned around the fate of not only just the company, but the engineering industry with his entrepreneurial spirit, hard work, and zeal to excel. Mr. Nayak became the chairman and managing director of L&T in 2003. Over the next decade and a half, he transformed the engineering services company into one of India's foremost conglomerates, spanning engineering and construction, energy, finance, and IT. When he took over the steering wheel in 2003, the combined market cap of the group was around 13,000 crores. Today, the group market capitalization has grown over 1,800% to around 2.57 lakh crore. A perfectionist and workaholic, Mr. Nayak has always inspired excellence in his teams. He invested heavily in grooming future leaders, starting the Young Leader program, which helped the conglomerate maintain its rapid growth and sustained leadership. Under his stewardship, L&T has engaged in sectors of national significance, of defense, nuclear, energy, aerospace, infrastructure, oil and gas, and power. Imbibing the motto of Atmanirbhar Bharat, he has given a strong Make in India orientation to the company's products and won L&T the title of the company that is building the 21st century India. For his immeasurable contributions to nation building over 5 decades, he was recognized with Padma Vibhushan in 2019. It is indeed our honor to present the EOY Lifetime Achievement Award to one of corporate India's living legends, Mr. A.M. Nayak.
Here's a quick glimpse of this individual's incredible journey, one who has spent a lifetime promoting and encouraging entrepreneurship.
Born into a family of teachers, A.M. Nayak worked in a small boiler company before his destiny called him to Larsen & Toubro.
I always wanted to go to L&T, so my story started in 65 March, and in 1 or 2 years, I became commandanted, which was the managerial cadre. My mind was, how do we make India strong? And I started moving around to find out how we can move forward in terms of indigenization. But it happened over time. From one dairy shop to general workshop to heavy engineering, to project management, precision manufacturing, then defense. Behind all these, I think it is that determination which has made this happen.
In 1999, A.M. Naik was called upon to lead his beloved L&T.
I said I have to now make a difference to the community and to the nation. First thing, what I will do in first 100 days. Second, make sure we think ahead 5 years at least. Third thing, when it came to saving L&T, I did everything that could one possibly be. That is a very big chapter with Reliance, what happened with Birla Group in takeover of L&T. Because if that had gone through, L&T won't be there. L&T name would have been something else. I made a condition that Birla cannot have the shares. So we vertically split the company, gave cement, but he has to give back 15% of the shares from zero ownership. So far so good. L&T has remained number one, but now it has become internationally in reckoning. That is difference. 2,000 crore of market cap has gone to today as a group 4,60,000, which is like 230 times more.
For him being there, it would not have been so easy to survive. Knowing where to pick the right thing, both internally and also with the customer. He's an all-rounder, true all-rounder.
Awarded the Padma Vibhushan and an institution in his own right, A.M. Naik has built L&T to be a priceless asset for the nation.
A lot is happening. Therefore, L&T is there to stay for decades, perhaps forever, and not stop it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Lifetime Achievement winner, Mr. A.M. Naik.
A wonderful message from our Lifetime Achievement Awardee, Mr. Naik. On behalf of Mr. Naik, who unfortunately is unable to be with us today, I would like to call up onto stage the CEO and Managing Director of Larsen & Toubro, Mr. S.N. Subramanian, to kindly join us on stage to accept the award. We will now have the acceptance AV played.
I hope all of you are having a lovely evening at this prestigious event. Unfortunately, I am unable to attend the evening function physically, but be rest assured, I am with you in spirit. As a past winner of the EOY Award way back in 2008, I recognize its exceptional significance. On being honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award today, I feel inspired to push myself even further in service of the nation, community, and the country. I would like to thank the jury once again, and I wish all the finalists here the very best. Jai Hind.
Mr. Subramanian, would you like to say a few words on behalf of Mr. Naik, please?
Good evening, sirs, and good evening, all of you. I think you would have been terrifically happy to have been in person to receive this fantastic Lifetime Achievement Award sponsored by Ernst & Young, and he would have been really thrilled about it. He not only, I think, is a Lifetime Achievement Award, I think he's a 100 times entrepreneur, so he would also been happy to receive the Entrepreneur and the Lifetime Achievement Award, but I think it means the same for him. The man, to a large extent, has pioneered L&T as one of the largest organizations in this part of the world, or maybe in some parts of the world, as an aerospace company, as a defense company, as a nuclear engineering company, as a high-tech engineering company, and a heavy engineering manufacturing company, all in one lifetime. He's given us a tremendous platform to take the organization forward, and many of us feel as Lilliputans in front of him, but we try our little best. Of late, he's turned his mind into social and philanthropic activities. He set up 2 trusts, the M. Naik Charitable Trust as well as the Nirali Trust, and they do quite a bit of work on skilling, education, and health. A phenomenal person and a humongous person, and God bless him. I really thank this eminent jury for having chosen him. Also thank the Honorable Minister, both the Senior Minister as well as the Finance Minister for having been here in person to give this award, and I'm extremely humbled by the fact that he chose me to receive this award on his behalf. Thank you all very much, and to all the young entrepreneurs, you are the future. We as an old organization will try to catch up with you in some way or the other, but wish you all the very best and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Subramanian. Special thanks to Mr. Harsh Mariwala for doing the honors. Okay, requesting all our dignitaries to please stay with us on stage. I would now like to invite the Managing Director, the Carlyle Group, Mr. Neeraj Bharadwaj, to please join us on stage. Let's take a look at our next category of the evening. Now this one is for the true risk takers at heart. They started small, but importantly dreamt big, and they are not done yet. They are out there to create unimaginable impact. Looks like they tried sleeping with a mosquito. It's been rightly said that if you think you're too small to be successful, then you've never been in a dark room at night with a mosquito going for you. In all seriousness though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about great minds behind impactful startups. Life as an Indian startup is like a roller coaster ride, as you might imagine, with its own version of highs and lows. But despite all these obstacles, startups in India have always persevered. They struggled, and yet they ultimately established themselves as an indelible part of India's economic landscape. The figures alone make that clear. We were told earlier, India is home to 94 unicorns with a total valuation of $319.67 billion. 2020, you must be aware, witnessed the birth of more than 10 unicorns. And in 2021, really in inverted, raining unicorns was the motto, with 44 unicorns pumped into the ecosystem and many soonicorns waiting in line. India has become the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world after the USA and China. As our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji said, I quote, "Our startups are changing the rules of the game. They are going to be the backbone of the new India." It's time to celebrate those entrepreneurs who followed their passion while defying all odds. May I request Mr. Neeraj Bharadwaj to read out the citation and announce the winner.
Thank you. Before I get to the award, I wanted to thank Rajiv for having me on the jury. I was very excited when he also asked me to present the award. But post the Oscars, I think this actually could be quite risky. So I was hoping that in future events, EY actually provides a helmet and protective gear for the next jury members. For the startup category, the award goes to Vidit Atre and Sanjeev Barnwal from Meesho.
And let's keep that applause going, ladies and gentlemen. I request Mr. Sanjeev Barnwal and Mr. Vidit Atre to say a few words using that podium, maybe.
First of all, thank you so much for everyone here, all the dignitaries here, for everyone who's here from the startup ecosystem, from the entire Indian economy. Thank you so much. By the way, like, I did not expect we will come here and receive the award. All the names we saw, I think to be in that company, I think it still feels that we are not there yet. Like, we are still a very young company. We just started. Our vision is quite big. We want to enable every single small business in India to become successful online. It's a large vision. It will take not years, it will take decades, and we've just started. And to kind of get this is definitely a lot of encouragement, recognition of everything that we have done so far, but also gives us like that impetus that we need to keep moving forward. So thank you so much. I think this is not for us, this is for our entire team that has basically gone through all the periods to kind of reach where we are, and that is still as inspired, as encouraged to come every day and move towards that mission and vision of enabling 100 million small business in India. So thank you so much.
Thank you, EY, thank you, jury and ministers. I'm truly humbled, and of course, we would like to dedicate this to the amazing folks at Meesho who kind of go to great lengths to create the massive impact that we have been able to achieve. I can proudly say that kind of 5% of the Indian population transacts with us, but this is just starting. Like, we want to change lives for each and every Indian. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Congratulations to our winners. You may take your seat. I'd request Mr. Bharadwaj to please stay with us on stage. Let's take a look at the next category. Right. This category applauds an unforgettable experience and greater purpose. Because with evolving consumer demands, it is no longer about what we tell the customer it is, but rather what consumers tell each other it is. A comedian can't stand in front of an audience and tell them that he is funny. He has to let them decide, right? As we were just told, if you don't say the right things at the right time, you could get slapped where it hurts. I'm going to desist from throwing any funnies today, certainly not at individuals. This is one category that has probably seen the most fundamental change in the past 2 years. But the ones who stayed agile, continued to innovate, and infused technology into their operations eventually, of course, emerged as leaders. Our finalists in this category today have found ways to navigate truly unprecedented times through online, offline, hybrid, omni-channel, and every other combination that you could think of. They importantly ensured that the customer's convenience was at the center of everything they did, because of the golden rule that says for every great entrepreneur, put themselves in the customer's shoes while they innovated. I request Mr. Neeraj Bharadwaj to please read out the citation and announce the winner.
The winner for the consumer products and retail category is Mr. Shiv Kishan Agarwal and Mr. Manohar Lal Agarwal from the Haldiram Group.
Our winners to address us, say a few words.
श्री गणपति की कृपा से आज जो अवार्ड मिला है भाई की जूरी से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ और यहाँ आए हुए सभी फाइनेंशियलिस्ट के को बधाई देता हूँ और अपने कस्टमर ब्रांड के जो सभी मेरे भाई, सभी मेरे बच्चे ये प्राइज का अवार्ड का अधिकार है, सभी मेरे कर्मचारी, सभी एक मिलकर सब काम किया हुआ है, एक मिलकर सब काम करते थे, एक मिलकर ही सब करते थे, उनको भी पूरा अधिकार है ये इस अवार्ड का। ये अवार्ड हमारे लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हमको इस अवार्ड में जो हमारे परिवार में और में सब में जोश आया है कि काम को और कितना बढ़ाना है, वो पूरा तरीके बढ़ाना है। एक्सपोर्ट करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे क्योंकि मैंने सोचा बोला कि जो वेस्टर्न वाले इंडिया में चाय पिलाना सिखा दिए हैं उसी प्रकार अपना भी एक एम रखना चाहिए कि अपन भुजिया नमकीन खाना सिखा दें जो सुबह से नहीं, जो सुबह उठती भुजिया मांगे। वैसे सुबह उठती चाय मांगते हैं, वैसे ही सुबह उठती भुजिया मांगे। ये एक अहम सोचकर काम किया है। मैं इसका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ और धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
A heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Manohar Lal Agarwal and Mr. Shiv Kishan Agarwal. Congratulations. A special thanks to Neeraj Bharadwaj for doing the honors as well. Right. To do the honors for our next category, I would like to invite onto stage the former chairman, State Bank of India, Mr. Rajneesh Kumar. May we have you on stage, sir. And let's figure out our next category. I'd like to request Mr. Rajneesh Kumar to read out the citation and announce the winner in the process.
Manufacturing category, you already have seen the audio visual, but still I have been given a duty, so I will read the citation. Nearly 3 decades ago, around the dawn of economic liberalization in India, a young graduate made the unconventional choice of starting a manufacturing venture from the ground up instead of joining his family business. Over the years, the winner has built India's largest homegrown contract electronics manufacturing company, growing it to more than rupees 10,000 crore in revenues with 17 state-of-the-art factories across 3 states. A flag bearer of Make in India, he has leveraged unique design and low-cost manufacturing techniques to become the largest supplier to leading global and Indian brands of consumer durables, lighting and mobile phones. In FY21, through strategic partnerships, the winner entered into high-growth products of set-top boxes, wearables and medical equipment. Since the listing in 2017, the company's market cap has grown an incredible 700%, going up from rupees 3,200 crore to rupees 26,500 crore. The winner is Sunil Vachani of Dixon Technologies India Limited.
request Mr. Sunil Vachani to say a few words.
Firstly, I would like to thank EY and the jury members for this very prestigious award. I humbly accept this award on behalf of the 15,000 strong family members of Dixon. I think it's their hard work, it's their dedication, it's their commitment, and I'm just the face of the company, so I humbly accept this award on behalf of all of them. I would also like to dedicate this award to the memory of my late father, Mr. Sundar T. Vachani, who was, I think, to my mind, the first man of electronics, having launched the first color TV way back in 1993. And I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for him. So this journey started about 30 years back with a dream to make India the next hub for electronic hardware manufacturing. Very soon, it turned into a conviction, and I'm so happy that now it's a reality. I'm sure some of us know that in the coming year, we'll be manufacturing as a country almost $100 billion worth of electronic goods in the country out of a total demand of about $140 billion. So thank you, sir, thank you for the proactive policies. I think, manufacturing has this power to create millions of jobs. And I think we look forward to a day where we are creating jobs in the remotest corners of the country. And I'm reminded of the saying by the famous poet Victor Hugo, that no power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. And this is our time, this is India's time, and this is the time to make India the next hub for hardware manufacturing. And before I end, I just want to thank my family who's out here with me. I want to thank my co-founder Atul Lal. I want to thank my team members in Dixon, and thank you, EY, for this recognition. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Sunil Vachani. Very special moment indeed. I'd like to request Mr. Rajneesh Kumar to please stay with us on stage. Let's move to our next category. I request you, sir, to read out the citation.
A firm believer in creating long-term value in science, the winner has never taken shortcuts and has stayed focused on an R&D first approach. He joined a prominent pharmaceutical firm and stayed there for a decade, eventually becoming the CEO before he decided to embark on his entrepreneurial journey by setting up his own firm in 2005. His rupees 4,800 crore company has emerged as one of the most profitable and fastest growing API companies in India and a leader in antiretrovirals and other life-saving drugs. This scientist turned entrepreneur is now aiming to become a fully integrated player in the pharmaceutical and biotech sector with an eye on expanding his footprint in high-growth international markets. Listed in December 2016, his company has seen an incredible 585% growth in market cap from rupees 4,700 crore to rupees 32,500 crore. The winner is Dr. Satyanarayan Chava of Laurus Labs.
I request Dr. Shahba to address us.
Good evening, everyone. This award is a great recognition to the entire Laurus family who did put a lot of trust on me. And I want to dedicate this award in the order of credit. I have to give it to the first 50% of credit goes to my team who put trust, who put their commitment, and also dedication to go to this level. 25% goes to my wife and my family members who sacrificed a lot for me to become like this. And 24% goes to the society which helped me to take risks and create an enterprise of this size. And 1% goes to me for lending the face to take this award. And it is also very essential for me to give credit to the society, because this award went to a person who was born in a village with no school and born into an agriculture family, did complete post-graduation in mother tongue, Telugu language, and started as a process chemist and became an entrepreneur in 2005. All this happened because of the kind of opportunities the society, the country, and some of you sitting here also gave it to me. I was able to become like this. So I want to give credit to the society, to the country, which gave opportunities for a person born in a small village to become like this. And I want to thank all the finalists to achieve their full dream, and also to the EY and the jury for giving this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chava. I'd also like to thank our jury member, Mr. Rajneesh Kumar. Thank you very much for doing the honors. I would now like to invite onto stage the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, HDFC Life, Ms. Vibha Padalkar. Right then, let's take a look at our next category.
This award is in the financial services. The winning duo was in the midst of building a social crowdfunding platform for raising money for medical emergencies, when they realized they needed to solve another problem first: making digital payments easy for small businesses. Undeterred by the rejection they faced from multiple bankers, they launched an online payments gateway to reduce the complexity and compliance burden for many small businessmen. Through their agility, product innovation, and a sharp focus on customer, this fintech startup has transformed into a full-stack financial solutions company for over 8 million SMEs, and has processed over $60 billion in total payments in terms of volumes in 2021. One of India's largest and most valuable fintech players, they count the country's top startups as their customers and have seen their valuation soar to $7.5 billion post their last funding round in December 21. The winners are Harshil Mathur and Shashank Kumar of Razorpay. Congratulations.
I request you to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Well, really a lot of thanks to EY for organizing this event. I think this is really encouraging for a lot of young founders who are building for this nation across the country today. I would also like to thank the jury for giving this honor to us. I think I want to dedicate this award to our amazing team at Razorpay, who has worked day and night for the last 7.5 years in getting us where we are today. I would also like to thank our investors, our partners, and more importantly, our customers who have helped us get here and who trusted us when nobody did to help us start Razorpay and get where we are today. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents, especially my mom, who has been an inspiration for me and who has made me the man that I am today. I think what I would like to say is that I think it's still less than 1% done for Razorpay. We are a country where digitization has no limits, where financial services is still done in a very old school fashion. And I think the scale at which India can go with digitization of financial services is just unstoppable. And I think we would love to continue to work towards this with the support of my team as we outgrow ordinary. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations on your achievement. Thank you very much, Ms. Vibha Padalkar, for joining us. Thank you so very much. I now request Mr. Gopal Srinivasan, Chairman and Managing Director, TVS Capital Funds, to please join us on stage. Let's give him a round of applause as he makes his way up onto stage. Can we have a look at the next category, please? I request Mr. Gopal Srinivasan to please read out the citation and announce the winner.
Starting as a local delivery operation with just 5 employees, the winner has built a market-leading enterprise in what was a very fragmented and underutilized market. Growing at nearly 50% a year since FY19, it's today India's largest third-party express parcel delivery player by volume and by revenue. The market share of 20% of e-commerce volumes in the first quarter of FY22. Since its inception, the winner has transformed its company to become the fastest growing, fully integrated logistics enterprise, offering delivery of express parcels and heavy goods, warehousing, cross-border express freight services, and supply chain solutions. With a really formidable partnership and acquisition strategy, the company has also ventured into delivering value-added services, leading to a higher share of wallet and of customer retention. Now, he's eyeing the international markets to chart his next phase of growth. And let us all congratulate Sahil Barua of Delivery as the winner of this category.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Sahil Barua could not attend the event. We request the co-founder, Mr. Suraj Saharan, to please come onto stage and accept the award. Congratulations to our winner, Suraj Saharan. Thank you very much. I'd like to request Mr. Gopal Srinivasan to please stay with us on stage. Let's figure out our next category.
The meteoric rise of this company can be attributed to the founder's risk-taking appetite and ambition to see India become a product nation on the world stage. Introducing a multi-channel customer support platform for small businesses and expanding it to a full suite of offerings, this technology player has emerged as one of the fastest growing companies in the global SaaS space in just 11 years of its existence. The winner's belief in building customizable world-class products for any market condition has resulted in a customer base of nearly 56,000 clients in over 120 countries. A champion of his employees and next generation of entrepreneurs, the winning company has created history by becoming the first Indian SaaS startup company listed on NASDAQ. Today, the market capitalization stands at nearly 35,000 crores. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Girish Matrabhutam of Chennai's Freshworks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Girish Matrabhutam could not be with us at today's celebration. I request Mr. Prasad Ramakrishnan, CIO, to kindly come forward and accept the award on his behalf. Congratulations to our winners. And I also like to thank Mr. Gopal Srinivasan for doing the honors. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. Moving on to our next category, ladies and gentlemen. We'll need to keep the applause going because we are not done yet. I would now like to call on stage Head Asia Private Equity, Blackstone, Mr. Amit Dixit. Thank you, Mr. Dixit. Let's find out what our next category is. The CEO is no average individual. They come with an incredible mix of master strategist mind and, of course, an entrepreneur's heart. Let's celebrate those who have gone above and beyond to win the Entrepreneurial CEO Award. I request you, Mr. Dixit, to read out the citation and indeed announce the winner.
Sure. This person is a good friend of mine. The CEO has, as you heard on the video, created the largest electric vehicle component company out of India. 1 in 8 electric vehicles sold globally are from this company. And this company, just to give you context, 4 years back, had no electric vehicle revenue. So it's a forefront of R&D, technology, auto tech innovation, really a pride of India. And the winner is Vivek Vikram Singh of Sona Comstar.
Congratulations, Mr. Singh. May I request you to say a few words, please?
So, I didn't think I was going to win, so I didn't prepare anything. Hopefully, upgrad people will stop calling me now. I don't think I'm all that special. There are lots of people in this room, lots of people in this country who are smarter, who are more hardworking, and perhaps more deserving. But a lot of them don't get the opportunity often in life to be entrepreneurial, to be CEOs. And I think as much as I deserve this, Sanjay, could you come up on the stage? No, seriously, come on. Come on. If I'm here, it is because of him. And Amit, who's already on stage, so I can't call him. They gave me the platform to do what I do. And
Yeah, because see, there are lots of Vivek Vikram Singhs out there. There aren't enough Sanjay Kapoors who will step back and let them actually take charge. And I think this country needs more Sanjay Kapoors. You'll have thousands more Vivek Vikram Singhs. Thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Both of you. Congratulations. I request Mr. Amit Dixit to please stay with us. Let's figure out our next category. Mr. Dixit, please read out the citation and indeed announce the winner.
Well, again, I have a privilege of reading the citation for another friend of mine. As this award category goes, business transformation, and there couldn't be a bigger David and Goliath story. This gentleman acquired a company 3 times the size, turned around that company, tripled the margins of the company, 35,000 crores market cap, large healthcare provider in India, growing to be one of the largest healthcare chains in the country, a true nation builder with 40,000 people helped during the COVID pandemic. Please welcome Abhay Soi as
May I request you to say a few words, Mr. Abhay Soi?
Wow, that's the first word which comes to my mind. Thank you so much. It means a lot coming from such an eminent jury, the pantheon of legends, the photographs I see outside, and most importantly, it's from my alma mater, which is Ernst & Young. Entrepreneur's journey has many stakeholders, as many entrepreneurs over here know. I think, the new India, which has been provided by our current dispensation of government, which allows us not to look over our shoulders and provides us a level playing field. So thank you, sir. Please convey that. My family, my mother, she's inculcated the entrepreneurial spirit in me. My brother, he's over here. My wife. Did I say my wife? I think they've been extremely supportive, put up with me through this entire very turbulent sort of journey that we've gone through. Mac's family, my family of 25,000 people, and I think they've really lived up the motto Unstoppables in transforming the company over the last 2 to 3 years. And more so during COVID, where we were truly unstoppables. So this is for my Max family, and of course, all the other healthcare workers out there who've been absolutely tremendous and relentless in this journey through COVID. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Soi. Thank you, Mr. Amit Dixit, for joining us on stage and doing the honors. The most important part of the evening has arrived, and as we announce our final category, tonight's showstopper, quite literally. And to do the honors yet again, I would like to invite onto stage the chairman of Marico, Mr. Harsh Mariwala. Well, shortly, ladies and gentlemen, the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2021 will be announced, keeping in mind that the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Award is a global event that concludes in Monte Carlo's magnificent environment. The event brings together the brightest and greatest business minds from around the world, nearly 60 countries, creating a great mix of ideas, incredible business discourse, and possibly the world's largest celebration of entrepreneurial success. And it doesn't end there. The highlight of this momentous and rewarding occasion is the fact that one of your finalists will have the opportunity to represent India at the World EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Now that's something remarkable when you consider the magnitude of the global competition. It's incredible to note that 3 Indian entrepreneurs have already won the world title in less than 2 decades. As recently as just last year, Dr. Kiran Majumdar Shaw brought the honors to India 2021. That was no mean feat. It's time, as they say, for power plays last over. Let's take a look at the category. Okay, I'd like to request Mr. Harsh Mariwala to read out the citation and announce the winner.
So thanks, Brian. And before I read out the citation, I must say that this entrepreneur, I've known the entrepreneur, I'm not going to give the gender, for almost more than 25 years. I had the occasion of working. Now I might as well say the name. The winner is Falguni Nair of Nykaa. Falguni, I would just like to say a few words about Falguni. As I said, I've known her for the last more than 25 years. When I went to London, and she was based in London, we were coming out with her IPO, and I spent almost 2-3 full days with her. I was so impressed by her, and with her honesty and the way she worked. So when she started Nykaa, my son asked me, my son runs our investment office, that Falguni has left Kotak Bank, and I said yes, and I don't know what she's up to. I'm very surprised because, after spending so many years in the bank, to become an entrepreneur is tough at that age. But hats off to her. And he asked me, what do you think? I said, don't ask me about her business. I can't say anything about it. But one thing I can say about Falguni, you can blindly trust her. So then he invested money, and now I think I don't have to say anything more. We are a very, very proud investor in Nykaa. In an era where the industry followed the brick and mortar retail model, the winner entered the space through the digital route. Initially with limited resources and facing stiff competition, the winner took the onus of building a capital efficient and asset-light business model on the 3 pillars of curation, content, and convenience. The recipient of EY Entrepreneur of the Year award in the startup category in 2019, the winner diversified from beauty into fashion and lifestyle, and today has a portfolio of 2,600 plus international brands and 100 plus offline stores. In FY 19-21, the truly omni-channel business posted over 48% compound CAGR growth and envious profits, a rare feat for startups. Making your beauty your passion, the winner is behind one of the most successful IPOs of 2021 that was oversubscribed 82 times with a market cap of our company at 88,000 crores. A former investment banker who believes in investing for the future, the winner is now focused on building a long-term business balance with profitability. She's an inspirational Nykaa for several budding women entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage the EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2021, Falguni Nair of Nykaa.
Falguni is ahead of the game. She was already with us. I'd like to request you to say a few words.
Yeah, I think, like Abhay, I also have to say wow. So I think this is a very coveted award. And I think, like they say, Hall of Fame, just being after a number of truly illustrious entrepreneurs and business leaders that I have seen getting this award And to be in this space is something I can't believe. I think I'll have to pinch myself many times. But I do have to start with thanking everybody. For me, it has to begin with family, where I've had complete support of my parents, Sanjay's parents, I have to say, and of course, big support from Sanjay and the kids who are now helping me build the company. And of course, I also call Nykaa as Nykaa family, and a whole bunch of 3,000 odd, and many of them millennials, have been at the core of this success that we are. And what that has done is helped us understand our consumer, many of whom are young millennials. And in fact, they keep us straight. I think they have taught us to be very authentic, to be very true. And I think that taught us to build a business that is very authentic, and as a result, well loved by our customers. I think I've also been extremely lucky to have great investors who have supported me through this journey. I think we chose to be domestically owned in the beginning, raising money from high net worth families, as well as TVS, who's sitting right here. And that's been a very unusual path that we took. But I cannot but say that the support that we got from investors at every stage, mainly in form of believing in our vision and believing in our dreams and allowing us to move forward, is what has brought us today. And last year, obviously, through COVID, one continued to work and build the company and be more meaningful to our customers. And like Harsh mentioned, that our message to our customer is that be the spotlight of your life. And that all-empowering message to today's women in India brought us very close to our customer and helped us earn much love from our customers. So with that, thank you once again to the jury and Ernst & Young for bestowing this coveted award on me. Thank you very much.
Yet another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Falguni Nair. What a moment. I would like to, please stay with us on stage, ma'am. Please stay with us on stage. I would like to invite all our finalists, winners, and respectable jury members onto stage to celebrate your achievements. We'd like to capture this moment. So can we have you all on stage, please? The Entrepreneur of the Year is more than an award. It's a tribute to corporate achievement. It gets tougher every year as the bar for greatness is raised higher and higher. And of course, with the raising of the bar, let's also raise our glasses and cheer.
With stars in their eyes, they reach higher. Unafraid, they explore new beginnings. In their hearts, there is fire. They dream bigger, better, higher. Filled with passion to create a brand new dream. These men, they will brave any ocean. They shine like the dawning of the sun. Entrepreneurs burning bright, symbols of a glowing light. Entrepreneurs change the world for everyone. Celebrate, celebrate, got a vision of so great. Celebrate.
Ladies and gentlemen, on stage, I'd like for you to kind of be slightly closer to each other so we can get a proper frame. I do understand that there are very many of you, but can we have all the finalists on stage as well? I know the stage is not very large, but can we have our finalists on stage as well? And while they are making their way up onto stage, I'd like to remind you that the EOY 2021 winner will be representing India at the World EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards 2021, which is a huge honor, like I said earlier. While the rest of our winners are joining us on stage, we need a few more glasses.
They have strength, they have power, celebrate their
close
finest
to fame as
hour.
well, again.
They have courage and their vision will endure. Celebrate, celebrate, got a vision oh so great. Celebrate all they have done. They have reached up for the sun. Celebrate their victory. This is their moment of glory, making life so rich, so full for everyone. They know the trouble.
Right. I think we have everyone on stage. Let's raise our glasses in a toast. There you go. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, every one of them.
They boldly brave the pain. They are exceptional men. So let's applaud them again. Celebrate, celebrate. Got a vision oh so great. Celebrate all they have done. They have reached up for the sun. Celebrate their victory. This is their moment of glory, making life so rich, so full for everyone. Celebrations across all nations.
Right. Also, the exclusive telecast of the EOI Awards will air on CNBC TV 18 on Wednesday, the 27th of April at 7 p.m. And with that, we come to the end of this stellar and glamorous evening. Once again, congratulations to all our winners. Thank you to our chief guest, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, as also to our guest of honor, Dr. Bhagwat Karad, for dedicating your time and presence on behalf of EY. Special thanks to our jury members for volunteering their time. To all our guests, thank you for being a part of this evening's festivities. Thank you for supporting the Entrepreneur of the Year program. The celebration doesn't stop here. Please join the winners for drinks at the cocktail bar. We are also deeply grateful to our event partners, Hyperlink, and our creative director, Adi Pocha, who've helped turn this into a memorable evening. We would also like to thank our telecast partner, CNBC TV 18. Enjoy the rest of the evening and see you again in 2023. Stay safe.
When the streets had fallen silent and the world had held its breath, when the air was still and masked with fear, the nation scorched with dread, you marched out of the shadows and made your mark in time. You worked to build and still create, brave shoulder to the grind. The unstoppables, that's what you are. Unstoppable. That's why you shine, the unstoppables. You'll always be unstoppable. As time. You innovated against all odds. You refused to merely survive. You created a whole new future. You showed what it took to thrive. When the history of this time is told, your resilience will stand proud. When they sing of heroes brave and bold, your name will ring out loud. The unstoppables, that's what you are. Unstoppable, that's why you shine. The unstoppables, you'll always be unstoppable. This time, the unstoppables, that's what you are. Unstoppable, that's why you shine. The unstoppables, you'll always be unstoppable. As time. Thank you.